purpose land. I wanna know the land. I wanna know.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Good evening and welcome to this very special broadcast today. News Talk with your one and only anchorman, Chris Ano. Thank you for tuning in from Ground Zero, Ground One, all of continental Africa, USA, Canada, South America, and the Middle East. Thank you for tuning in. Tonight, we got a very exciting show. Very exciting and informative show. And as usual, I would love you to go ahead, hit your share button. Let us populate this platform within the next 5 minutes. It is very critical that you do so. I don't come to you with empty talks. I come to you with education. I come to you with information. And so please, you don't want to be selfish. Make sure that somebody gets the link. Hit the share button, get it to all the groups on Facebook, all the groups on WhatsApp, everywhere there are groups, get it there and let us quickly populate the platform. When I come back, I will bring to you exactly what I'm gonna be talking about here tonight. Stay put. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thanks for staying put tonight. Got quite a number of issues to bring to you. This show is about issues in the news. In other words, what is making the news out there in Africa and Amazonia, the southern Cameroons in particular. Tonight, we're going to be talking about what is happening in Ngohketunjia. A few days ago, we saw 3 trucks loaded with animals headed for Bamenda, burnt down by a force that's supposed to be fighting to protect the same people they attacked. We're going to be looking at that. We're also going to be looking at the resignations from my cabinet, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to be bringing you a little statement about that. You stay put. Also tonight, I bring you a very special announcement, something we have been planning and something I've brought here before to announce to you. Many more other things, but let me start with what is going on in La République du Cameroon. And please go ahead and hit that share button. My apologies for coming really late today. You never can tell what goes on in the background technically before we can come live to you. And I'm glad to also inform Ground Zero. We know that many people complained that ABS was frozen on their screens. I believe you can all now receive us live. I'm receiving information that there is shutdown of electricity in Kumba, but I promise you we will replay this again and again on satellite until all of you get it. La République du Cameroon is fond of shutting down electricity each time we are coming up live. But we since learned that, and we rebroadcast these shows again and again and again and again by satellite on Ground Zero. For those of you who cannot get it by satellite or by Roku, now we are also on Roku TV, ladies and gentlemen. Go to Roku TV. If you have almost every television set nowadays comes with a Roku app installed in it. And all you need to do to watch ABS from your television set, if you are in the diaspora, whether in the Middle East, in Europe, in South, North America, Canada, anywhere, all you need to do is get on your television set. If it is a smart TV, as they call it, you turn it on, look for where you find the YouTube app, you will see the Roku app, and all you need to do is go to the search bar on that Roku app and type in ABS Africa TV, ABS Africa TV, and our logo will pop up. You download it to your TV screen. You don't need to pay anything to download it. All you just do is download it, so that next time when you want to watch ABS, all you need to do is click on that icon, that logo, and ABS will come to you live. Whatever Ground Zero Africa is watching, you can watch it anywhere from the world, anywhere in the world through Roku. So again, we are live. We are back live on Ground Zero, and you will not be fed with lies and propaganda that we are being told is being fed on Ground Zero. We'll bring you serious issues. We'll talk facts. We'll talk serious issues, and that is why Ground Zero trusts us when we come there. All right. So we're going to discuss also the lockdown, ladies and gentlemen. And I think I should start with that. The lockdown. Beginning this Friday and Saturday, a day from today, Ground Zero is locked down in protest and in defiance of so-called Youth Day, 11 February Youth Day. It is not Youth Day for Ambazonia, ladies and gentlemen. It's a fraudulent day that the government of La République du Cameroon tried to impose upon us year after year, getting us to get on the sun, stand on the sun, welcome Monsieur le Préfet and the gendarmes and the police, like Mecca at the community center. I remember as a young primary school child, we would go to Menji and stand under the sun, waiting and waiting and waiting for the colonial officer to arrive. And the moment the colonial officer arrives, you see the gendarmes running helter-skelter to catch him and put him on seat. And then the teachers will all come around and say, get ready for the march past. And we will all get ready. But it was excruciating as little kids standing under the sun and waiting for Monsieur le Préfet, the colonial officer, to show up. Please hit that share button. Let's get the numbers jumping. I got very, very critical talking points to bring to you today. So please, lockdown coming up on Friday. We're going to be talking about that too. I'm having a very special panel here that is going to discuss some of these issues of the day. So please go ahead and hit your share button. I want to see 200 on my screen, and then I come to you with the very first presentation. But while you struggle to get there, while you hit your share button to get there, I want to say this. It is getting better and better by the day. La République du Cameroon is falling into pieces. Their politicians are crashing, and very soon, ladies and gentlemen, I saw a video circulating on the social media today from a francophone who says Frank beer has been poisoned. I am not taking it with any pinch of the salt, but just assuming it is the case, can you imagine what is befalling that country? Can you imagine what lies ahead? Perhaps in a few months, if indeed Frank beer has been poisoned. But you see them picking up the perpetrators of the carnage, the killings in Ambazonia, now going to jail because of the killing of a single person in their territory. This journalist guy, I've forgotten the name. When they caught and killed our own journalist, the popular Wazizi, I don't know the other name, people lamented, they went on the media and they talked, they protested. They did nothing. They did nothing. One La République du Cameroon's journalist is picked up and killed, and behold, the whole country is now amok. The whole country is now amok. Do you see the way they treat us and the way they treat their own people? And they call us brothers. And some of you Ambazonians, Southern Cameroonians, you call them brothers. How are they brothers when they treat you as slaves? How is that possible that you are brothers? They fool you and tell you, give you the chips, the crumbs that fall from their table and tell you, you are a brother. No, they are not brothers. Francophones have not turned out once on the street to protest the killings of over 30,000 Ambazonians. But one of their reporters is killed and the country is about falling into pieces. What a huge difference that makes. What a huge difference. And if you ever have any reason why we should keep on fighting, it is for this reason. Because when they kill your son, when they kill your brother, when they kill your mother or your father, they don't care. The whole Francophone community doesn't care. But when one of theirs is murdered, they take to the media and they are picking up people and putting in jail. The most interesting one is this guy called Iko, ladies and gentlemen, supposed to be the director of, I think, foreign intelligence. This is the guy who masterminded with Paul Atanganji, planned everything that led to the abduction of Sisiko Ayoktabe and others in Nigeria. Iko was the master planner with Paul Atanganji. Now we are hearing that Iko is now sitting behind the bars in Sète, the same place they picked up my mother of 80 years and dumb. The same place they picked up my sister and dumb. The same person who gave the instructions is now sitting behind those very iron bars. I hope the next person to go there is Emi Bankui. I hope he is the next to go there. Ladies and gentlemen, the chickens are coming home to roast, they say. That is what is happening in La République du Cameroon. I hear so much mention of Ngongo, Dion Ngute, and I don't care about them. I just don't care about them. I just wish they too go behind bars. But ladies and gentlemen, this is leading up. This is leading up to the transition in La République du Cameroon. I am not looking for any negotiations anytime soon in this conflict. For as long as Paul Biya remains there, and what they call the hardliner, the Ngos, the Atanganjis, what is that other guy? For as long as they remain there isn't going to be any serious dialogue between the Republic of Cameroon and Ambazonia. So I am not looking forward to any negotiation, because I see people running around and trying to grandstand for some dialogue on negotiations in Canada. That is not going to happen anytime soon. We should rather be preparing and coming together and talking about the aftermath of a transition in La République du Cameroon. That is what is very critical now. If the events that are taking place now today make anything or say anything, it is about the signs of the days ahead. We have also heard from Kamto just recently in the media saying, something is going to happen. Something is going to happen should they try to put somebody in power without the popular process. That is maybe through elections or whatever. He too is swinging. And of course, these are swinging. Everybody in that country is swinging. And the question is, what are Ambazonians doing? There is a plan. But where is the will, the determination to come together and strategize? We have an opportunity ahead of us, ladies and gentlemen. And if we can come together, we can strategize and take over our country in the twinkle of an eye, in the midst of the cacophony in that country. Well, thank you for hitting the share button. Please, I don't like the numbers yet, but I will take you into my first formal presentation. And of course, this has to do with the situation, ladies and gentlemen, in Ngohketunjia. This has to do with the situation going on in Ngohketunjia. You have all learned, ladies and gentlemen, or seen the images of the fire incident along the Ngohketunjia Bamenda highway, the burning down of those vehicles. That tantamounts to terrorism. It is no more the conflict, the war we are fighting, it is terrorism. An incident took place last weekend in Ngohketunjia. 3 civilian-owned commercial vehicles, commercial trucks, were intercepted on the highway linking Ngohketunjia and Bamenda. They were intercepted by fighters under the command of General Sagon. But the problem isn't about the interception. The problem is that the 3 vehicles were burnt down with animals and the produce they were transporting to Bamenda. We note that for over 3 months now, that road was shut down to both civilians and the Cameroon military. The idea, we have learned, was to prevent the La République du Cameroon military from using that road, while civilians have essentially been forced to respect the injunction. The Cameroon military continued to have free access, free passage, without any attacks on them. This road blockage has put our people in Ngohketunjia under intense hardship, pain and suffering, as their produce or harvest can no longer reach the commercial center of Bamenda. Let me make it crystal clear that this interim government totally abhors this deviant behavior from fighters who are supposed to be fighting for and defending the very people they now choose to punish. What is happening in Ngohketunjia, ladies and gentlemen, is no longer a fight for Ambazonia's freedom. It is not the cause we are all engaged in. It is a fight for exaction, and we totally condemn it and distance ourselves from the fighters carrying out these attacks on our own people. We urge these fighters under Saigon to immediately open up that stretch of the road to all civilians. We ask that with immediate effect, they should remove the blockage, reopen the road, and end the suffering of their own people in Ngohketunjia. And if the blockage was meant to prevent the invading army of Cameroon from using the road, all indications now point to the fact that the mission has failed and it should be swiftly brought to an end. But if they think that the mission must continue, then it is time they tell Ngohketunjia people how many La République du Cameroon military trucks they have intercepted or burnt down as they do to civilians. They should tell us how many La République du Cameroon armies they have captured or killed as punishment for contravening the blockage. Fellow Ambazonians, there are 3 comrades here in the USA from Ngohketunjia County alone who are locked up and under investigation by the Justice Department. Have you wondered why all of them are from Ngohketunjia County? It is because of the recklessness, the action of these fighters. The fighters kidnap our people in Ngohketunjia. They hold them hostage until they pay a ransom before they are released. They arrest, lock up, and torture civilians with impunity. And if they cannot pay, they die in confinement and are buried secretly. This has been going on and on and on for too long. If we have condemned the ADF for their brutality on our civilians, it is then incumbent upon us all not to pay a blind eye to what is happening in Ngohketunjia. Those fighters under Saigon are not ADF fighters. We make it vehemently clear that theirs is no longer the war that La Republique declared against us. Theirs is a money-making enterprise, a racket that seeks to punish the people that they are supposed to be protecting. They are no longer fighting for Amazonia. They are fighting for profit. And if they do not stop it immediately, we will do everything possible to get them off this independence crusade. We will do that. How does one explain that civilians now have to live in Dub, travel through French Cameroon in Mbunda to get to Bamenda? Somebody in the area confided in me how a fare that was supposed to cost him 6,000 francs to Bamenda, and only so because of the material he was transporting, had to cost 36,000 francs. 36,000 francs to get it there because he had to meander through Mbunda before getting to Bamenda. What a travesty. Why these fighters have blocked the road and punished the people this way. They have opened it to La Republique du Cameroon army for use in transporting their killers to hunt down General No PT and all the other fighters in Buyan up to Nkambe. The other day, the invading Cameroon army passing through that same road launched a vicious attack on the marine fighters of Bambala and killed 3 of them. Saigon didn't show up with backup. It was No PT who showed up in backup retaliation and gunned down 2 of La Republique du Cameroon soldiers before they could take off. Saigon is not fighting for Amazonia. He left the mission. He will have to convince us to believe he is. And the only way he does so is by immediately ending the suffering he has imposed on the people by unlocking that road. Civilians are the backbones of this crusade for Amazonia independence. This conflict with Cameroon is meant to save those civilians, to alleviate their decades of hardship under La Republique du Cameroon. Our own fighters cannot be the ones inflicting pain and suffering upon them. If they will not immediately undo the road blockage, we ask that Ngohketunjia population team up and capture these guys, give them the punishment they so deserve. Ground Zero will remain strong only as the fighters demonstrate they are out to protect them and not to hurt them. And let me address those in the diaspora who are said to have control over these Saigon boys in Ngohketunjia. How can you now remain silent, seeing the pain your boys are inflicting upon your own community? How can you remain mute seeing civilians' vehicles go up in flames, burned by the ropes you sponsored in your own community? Where is Martin Mungwa? Where is Amos Tumenta? Where is Frank Chenye? Where are they? All of you fund these fighters in Ngohketunjia. You empower them and endorse their actions. You propel them to fight no pity. You cannot now remain silent while they turn on the civilian population. Arrest them, torture them, kill them, and burn down their vehicles. It is your duty to call them to order as they descend wayward. It is your duty to dismantle what you built. Ngohketunjia people should be calling upon these ones to show up and stop the carnage before it gets worse. If Martin Mungwa, Frank Chenye, and Amos Tumeta remain silent, then they should be considered accomplices. Accomplices, ladies and gentlemen, to what is happening in Ngohketunjia. No other civilian should have to suffer what we witnessed the other day with the burning of those 3 vehicles with cattle inside, and with no impunity, and with all impunity, ladies and gentlemen. And that is it on Ngohketunjia. I am being joined by Jackson Yu, who is the intelligence chief here at the interim government, and Ngohketunjia Kisop, who is the Home Affairs Secretary here at the interim government. Good to have you, Ngohketunjia.
Thank you very much, Secretary Chris. I'm happy to be here today to talk to our people, to let them know what is happening, and for them to know what we are doing to solve some of the problems that are emanating. Thank you.
Thank you. All right. We also have Chairman Jackson in the house, who is the intelligence chief here at the interim government. Good to have you, sir. So your volume doesn't seem to be on. Turn on your volume. Okay.
Thank you. The pleasure is mine.
Go on, sir. We can hear you now.
Yeah, sir. Thank you.
All right. Let us get into the subject right away. And before we do that, I'd like the people to see what we are talking about here. The burning of these vehicles belonging to civilians, suffering and struggling civilians for 6 good years in that county, and of course everywhere in Amazonia. Let's see what the boys of Saigon did a few days ago. Take a look at that.
In life, when I say when I want pass now, today this what I mean in life. Bonkunyang na tu amo. Ba mean in life. Ba mean in life. About good drone so. We say good drone, but ba mean not the part, not the year. Do you want to take notice for all driver them make young? Any driver we want can't try me, try 6 on 2. I beg thank you now. I do this short video, not the talk plenty. But I mean in life. When I say when I want pass now, today this what I mean in life. Bonkunyang na tu amo. But I mean in life. But I mean in life. About good drone so. We say good wrong for Bamisi, not the part, not the year.
We say good wrong for Bamisi in order past them, not the year. And this has been going on, I think, for close to 3 months now. They have not burned a single La République du Cameroon military truck, ladies and gentlemen. But they burnt down trucks belonging to civilians about their business. Ngohketunjia, let me get your take on this.
Yes.
Can you bend down your camera a little bit, please?
Okay. Let me see.
Thank you.
Is this good
Oh, it's
enough?
cutting your head now.
Central Chris. Oh,
All right.
Comrade Chris. Is that good? Comrade Chris, is that good?
That is good. Go on.
Okay, good. Yeah, this is really what is happening is deplorable. Our people have been suffering for years. Our people are just scraping a living. If there's any justification, we need to know why it is that civilians are being punished. The civilians have suffered for so long. They are just scraping a living, buying things and selling, carrying things from one place to other. And the problem is that the roads are open for the La Republic Army, who are the people that we don't want to come into our region. So if the road was being blocked to get to stop La Republic from passing, as they've been passing through Ngohketunjia and going to Mbui and Cambe, that would make sense. For them to suffer, to punish our people who are just trying to scrape a life, it doesn't make sense. So this Saigon, who is the guy who is telling us that he is the one doing it, he needs to let us know what his justification is, what it is that the people have done that they are being punished. And we don't see there's really no reason because he has not said so. And we don't know of any reason. People are suffering and have been suffering for 7 years. We cannot increase their suffering. Please, please, Mr. Saigon, stop this practice. It doesn't make sense.
Thank you. Chairman Jackson, again, this has been going on for, I think, close to 3 months, if not more. Is this mission, if they cannot put down a single La Republic to Cameroon's truck, and they want us to believe that that mission was put in place to prevent them from using that stretch of the road, is it still necessary?
Yes, Secretary Chris. Any fix that is meant to hurt the civilian population for extended period of time is counterproductive. And I believe that the powers that be should hear the clarion call that is getting out of control, and to block that road for ever. I don't know the message they're sending, because we should understand that the population that is in Bamenda town is being fed by those vehicles plying the roads from the hinterland, because if there is not enough food for the population in Bamenda to eat. So most of the food is being ferried into the urban areas from these localities. But there is one thing I want to say here, that those in charge should be able to talk to them and let them take control. I understand how serious the thing is, but I want to a little bit shift away to give an advice that I know that the population is suffering, but rebelling against them might be counterproductive because it might lead to casualties. I will pray that let the authorities uh, in the Sako government that are talking to these boys should instead educate them, let them know that this is in suffering the masses is criminal, um, because if if you have to put the population against fighters that are armed, then it is going to be colossal damage. So I will continue to put pressure on the powers that be, the guys that are talking and funding these guys, that they need to give them that education. And we'll tell the population that we're sorry, that they should let it calm, and let's see how that issue can be resolved. Thank you.
To both of you, to both of you. Again, this thing has been going on for close to 3 months, and civilians have to pass through, have to go back to La République du Cameroon, drive into La République du Cameroon to get to Bamenda, to get to do anything. As I mentioned in my monologue there, a guy in Indop had to spend $36,000 for a journey he would have made to Bamenda directly from Indop with 6,000 francs, and up to 6,000 only because of the stuff he was supposed to be transporting to Bamenda. But because of that, it took him 36,000 francs to transport stuff from Indop into Bamenda. Now, this guy actually lives in the diaspora and had to pay for the transportation for it to be done. He can afford that money. 36,000 francs is no money to anybody living in the diaspora. But think about the people living on ground zero, whom for 6 years and counting may not have had a job to do, and they have to cough out 36,000 francs just for transportation to a location. Shouldn't this, what can the people of Indop do by themselves to stop this, Mama Gio?
Well, the problem which is here is that when people do things like this, they have the actions that occur is it can be detrimental to them. So many times, people have the boys who are supposed to be fighting, who are supposed to be protecting the people, continue to harass them, and then these people now find solace through La Republique, and that is what we don't want. Because if they feel like they are not getting any protection, that they are being harassed, what generally happens is that those boys will go and look for La Republique to come and protect them, because they'll feel like we cannot provide them protection, that we are instead against them. But these are supposed to be our people. We have lost so many boys by this kind of behavior, where they have harassed people, and these are people in the villages who give them food, who protect them, who
Right.
even tell them when the army is coming for them to run, who protect them in many ways. And now the people will turn around and start showing their hiding places to the military, and they will eventually be killed for doing the stupid thing, for doing a dumb thing. So it is really, really important that these boys should think about what they are doing and stop, not just think about it. I mean, they should know the repercussions by now. That's something that must be stopped.
Chairman Jackson.
Yes, as a matter of fact, to go to that part of the country, from the last information I got, you have to go through, pass through Magba. Those names, I think Maba is known in the Western Province. Before you get back to the southern Cameroon portion, towards Bui and Ngohketunjia. So this is causing an untold misery on people, and I just want to say here that this is very, very bad. This is criminal, and for the fact that the military is still plying that road, for the fact that the military passes there and goes to Bui and fight no pity and come back. So the question somebody should be asking: who are they really blocking? Are they blocking their own people, or they are blocking the military? That is what we don't know. But we understand that some of these boys down there are capable of doing some stupid things. But if we do not have condemnations like what we're doing here now from the people that are controlling them, then that becomes a problem. And maybe through your voice and our voice today, we should be able to they should be able to understand that what they're doing is criminal, and that's some form of terrorism. That's some form of terrorism that they are practicing at this point. And I understand there are a lot of people, just as you mentioned, that hail from that area, from that constituency. But the goal is, what are they thinking? Especially when they videotape these things and put online. These things already have digital footprints. There's no way you can take them away. And this is going to be used against them because you can't do this. And they did not burn a Corolla, which is still a huge investment in that part of the world. But these are high capacity vehicles that can transport a substantial amount of goods to the most needy part of our place. And that is what is happening there. I think that is bad.
Um, Comrade Chris, if I may add something, the problem is that these boys, one of the problems I would say, is that some of these boys are paid by La Republique. They are enticed by the money, but they forget to know that they are not even spending the money. So many boys have money in their phone, or what they call Momo money, and they've died, and their families have not benefited. Their families cannot withdraw the money. The fund company is enjoying the money, or maybe that fund company is giving it back to the government of La Republique, and La Republique is taking that money and killing us, buying arms for our people, for us to die. So they are not doing any good if they come and deceive people and give them money. These people are not using the money in any way. We are at war. You cannot go and build a house somewhere where people will be seeing you. Therefore, they keep the money, and the money, at the end of the day, they don't enjoy the money. What if they kill you today? La Republic deceives people. Tell them that you're my friend. I will save you. I'll give you money for you to do things against your own people. You agree. That's money that you don't use. It's money that goes back to them. It has no value to you. And your family is dead. The people in your village are dead. The day that you refuse to work with them, they'll come and arrest you. You will forget, they will forget that these are people who have worked for them, who have assisted them. It's like a drug. Once you take, you want more, more. Once they've asked you to do something, they don't want you to go. They feel like they've gotten you, you are a tool for them. So you need to be careful when you have form an alliance with the devil, because the devil is interested in getting your soul. He's not going to say you do one bad thing then you go. He's going to hold you and hold you and hold you until you will not even know how to get out of it. So when you have the time, I think it's time now for you guys to leave, to stop that activity.
Let me show you guys these images coming from Ngohketunjia. As I stated the other day, this is supposed to be Bambalang. Now, I want you, ladies and gentlemen, in the audience, these images are not good, and I'm just going to flash them and then get back to the story, because Facebook will definitely shut us down if I leave it here for a minute. So I'm going to flash it just in a second and get it back. But again, this took place in Bambalang. This took place in Bambalang. You can see those people killed by French Cameroon soldiers. It happened on the same stretch of the road. The French Cameroon soldiers passed through that road. They were unharmed, they were untouched, and they went and they killed these Ambazonia fighters and civilians. Saigon did not send backup to support his brothers from the same county, Ngohketunjia. No PT had to come from nowhere to back up, and actually ended up taking down French Cameroon soldiers. Am I wrong to say it is time they shut down that operation and open the road to everybody if they cannot if they cannot touch a single lot of people to come around army or truck. Mama G, go
Yes.
on.
Yes.
Let
I
me get
think.
to Jackson. I think Jackson is back.
Okay.
Please, you heard my commentary there. What is
Yes,
your response to that?
yes. Listen, Chris, it's not even about this road. As I said, when you do not shut down movement of people forever, it goes with any other thing that they are doing continuously. What and they have not explained to anybody if there's even a reason for doing that. Nobody knows what they're doing, and it is just because they think they can do it. They think they have the guns and they can do whatever they want to do. So you're perfectly right. They don't have any reason to lock that road. They need to open it, and there is no. It flies in the face of logic that you are doing this in a way to hurt La Republique. You're not doing anything to them because they're planning the road as they're supposed to, but your people can't move the goods back and forth because people carry raw food to Bamenda, then they go back with soap, kerosene, and other stuff. And if you're unable to do this, then they're going to be in abject poverty and deteriorating conditions back in their various localities. I don't understand if they know the severity of what they're doing. Um, I just hope that they listen to this voice today and open that road and may only shut it for strategic reasons, not for unnecessarily extended period of time.
The last point on this subject that I would like both of you to comment on has to do with the names that I have mentioned, that of Martin Mongwa, which we had his image here, Amos Tubita in Italy, Fran Chenye in Missouri, who happens to be paying the price for the behavior of these guys. He was one of those arrested by the FBI and has been released, but the case is not over. They essentially put up this force. They sponsored these boys to pit them, to pit Saigon and his fighters against no pity. Isn't it kind of interesting that since these boys shut down in Ngohketunjia Road, arrest people, lock them up, torture them and kill some, these same people have not said a word in condemnation to what they are doing in Ngohketunjia?
Yes, I do not understand their thought process on this. But again, just because they control that part of the territory, um, um, I'm not going to, especially with the case that is going on with Chairman Frank. Um, I believe that they have not given any express order for that guy to lock that road. But the only fault that I will sit here and fault anybody that is sponsoring that set group is they have not heard any condemnation, um, express condemnation that they should open that road. So, but we know that Mr. Martin or Dr. Martin is always on ABC, and he has the bullet puppy to able to sound that give that clarion call to condemn things like this. He has not done it. Maybe it was an oversight, but it is time for them. Chairman Frank is in a difficult situation now. We'll pray for him to come out of it. And the thing that is happening along that road and the suffering of the civilians is a clear testimony that so many people are not happy. Even the people from Ngohketunjia, they will be the first people to call the authorities wherever they can to support because the vehicles that were burnt, they have family members, and that is something that was sustaining the lives of so many. When that happens in a situation that was very unnecessary, for a road that is blocked for God knows how long, then somebody need to step up. So these individuals that you are naming, yes, they need to talk. They need to talk and distance themselves from happenings like this. But I will not say that they ask them to do it, but if they're doing it under their watch, they need to speak out. Thank
Mama
you.
G, please.
Yes, it is really heartbreaking because Ngohketunjia used to be one of the strongest they used to have one of the strongest fighting force who would even fight and go over to La Republique and fight there and come back safely. We used to look up to them for what they did. And I hope that people understand that this war is not one part of Amazonia against another to show that I have supremacy. The supremacy that we have to show is to La Republique, for La Republique to see that we can do things, that we can keep them out of our home. They've killed so many people in Ngohketunjia. Some of the boys have run away. And the ones who are there should be emulating what their seniors, those who were there earlier, the things that they did, how they fought valiantly, how they destroyed I mean, they used to work cooperatively even with the people in Bui, so that they block on one side and the people in Bui block on the other side, and they
Right.
destroyed these La Republique people. But right now, I don't know what it is. Is it from greed that they are being paid? Is it that they've just given up, or whatever their case may be? Is it that they want to show fight with other groups, with other people? But this is not looking good because it looks like people have forgotten what this war is about. It is about us getting our freedom, having our own home, living our lives where everybody can succeed, everybody can do well according to their abilities. But right now, we have gotten to the place where some are fighting against their own brothers and sisters. And if these are Ngohketunjia children, they are destroying things in right in Ngohketunjia. So that being the case, I think people like Martin Mungwa and Tumenta should be in control, should take the reign and talk to their people and solve what problems there are. As you know, Frank Cheney was the county chair, and he worked very well with the boys. As soon as the Tumenta was elected, things started falling apart, and they've never calmed down. They've never done what they used to do again. They've lost momentum and steam. So I'm hoping that others will rally with him, because it is not a one-man show. All the people in Ngohketunjia should come out and tell him that and join him in bringing up solutions, because we cannot stand by and just watch Ngohketunjia, which used to be the star, being destroyed, because this giving an opening. When you have friends, when this Saigon and his people make friends with La Republique, it means that La Republique will start feeling comfortable to come there, and they will destroy our people. So please, Mr. Mungwa, please, Mr. Mungwa and Mr. Tumenta, uh, rally your people, do whatever you can do. This is Amazonia we are fighting for. We know this is a country that you love, and that you're working very hard to see that we have our independence. And this would go a long way. If you can help to stop these boys from giving us a black eye, it will go a long way to bring us to a goal of kicking La Republique out of Amazonia. Please do something.
All right. Thank you there, Mama G. I would like us to talk briefly on this lockdown that is coming up beginning a day from now, beginning on Friday. We realize that all over Ground Zero, Amazonia restoration fighters are standing up and informing the communities that Friday and Saturday all over the national territory are lockdown days. I've seen messages from General Lucifer announcing it to especially the Meme and Kumba in particular community. And if you live in Kumba, I hope you know what has happened in a number of schools and a number of bike riders in that city. Schools in Kumba were told to shut down from yesterday. We know the number of schools that have shut down. CAS and CETIC and others, they are still running, and we learn the principal of CAS was heard instructing students to turn out for march past practice to go out for 11 February festivities. We know that. We know the schools that are planning to go out to march. I am promising you from here, any school or college inside Kumba or anywhere that goes out to participate in 11 February festivities, those schools will be indefinitely shut down. Those schools will be indefinitely shut down. Let me see the names of the schools which have already been shut down, so that you know what I am talking about. Let me see. We mean business with this. I learned that GS, which schools are here? Though the schools which are still running, GS, Kumambang is still running, Kaskumba still running, CETIC still running. In some schools in Fiango, they are still running. Omega learned the shutdown. CS Kosala learned the shutdown. Primary school GAR shut down. Sacred Heart shut down. PYC Fiango, I think they shut down too. And ladies and gentlemen, we know why they are shut down. And any school that think they can go out and under pressure to participate in any march past in Kumba in particular, you will be shut down. And anywhere in Bamenda, in Manu, anywhere, you will be shut down. The restoration fighters are at work, and the Okada riders in Kumba who continue to contravene, to defy ghost towns. Some of you are beginning to receive notices. You will not have anyone to blame if your bicycle or Okada should go up in flames, because this war is not a joke. We have no tolerance for enablers. Everybody have got to sacrifice for the success of this war. 11 February lockdown. Now this is what is happening. Chairman Jackson, in Fontem, I think I have some notes coming from Fontem here. Let me read what somebody wrote out. It was very, very serious in Fontem. And by the way, I have the image here coming from Fontem. Look at that. This was an attack, ladies and gentlemen. This was an attack. This was an attack in Menji. A few days, I think this was 2 days ago, on the colonial sous-prefet, or prefet in Menji in Lebialem. He was trapped by the red dragons. He was traveling in the truck that you see there, and he was trapped by the red dragons and shot. And we do not know, ladies and gentlemen, whether he survived. There has been no news about it, but he was shot, and they are still waiting for news as to whether he survived or not. But that was in Libya over the weekend. That was in Libya over the weekend. And the news coming from Libya says, Libya boys again. Few days to 11 February, it echoed that in a bid to assure the international community about the return to normalcy in Menji, the regime crafted a solar panels project for street light that ran from Cooperative area to Seat of Wisdom College area. The colonial SDO and mayors left Chang for inauguration and to force the lonely community school to dress up in government primary school uniform and march on the 11th of February, which failed as the proprietor rejected it for fear of the unknown. The colonial SDO then moved to three corners in Ver, where a small market holds. Again, this is happening in the BLM. The colonial SDO then moved to three corners in Ver, where a small market holds weekly. While waiting for the market to be populated, the red dragons who were just waiting around showed up in numbers, killing the military and some officials. They proceeded to Menji in the military camp at GTHS, that is standing for GT Government Technical High School, I guess. We no longer use those appellations. They should be Government Technical Community School or the Community High School. So they moved there and confronted the military again on a battle that saw the military deserted. A helicopter made two separate attempts at landing in Menji but failed. It is rumored that the SDO might have been killed. Since yesterday, Menji has been boiling. Since then, yesterday, I think that was Monday, Menji has been boiling. The colonial officials had been trying to gather people, ask them to show up, get them. In fact, I learned that the colonial divisional officer, after addressing the people at the market square, offered them 6 crates of export, 3 export. Ladies and gentlemen, he offered them 6 crates of 3 export, unknown to the population. They were not to swallow it when the red dragons began firing. The red dragons waited until he addressed the population, left the population. The dragons protected the population as he was walking to his truck, surrounded by 2 military guys. They waited, the dragons waited until he was about to get into the truck, and they fired at him and the 2 military guys. As of now, it is not known whether he survived or not, but of course, it is not going to be hidden. And then they moved to different locations in Menji. The helicopter came, couldn't find anywhere to land. They were afraid to land and took off back. We don't know whether they were coming to pick up the colonial SDO, or they were coming to survey what was going on there. They were probably called to come in, but they couldn't land. After making 2 attempts, they left. But I also saw something, ladies and gentlemen, in Mezam. This video came in from Mezam. I'd like you to look at this video. The restoration fighters are poised to stop this colonial sham of a new invade that we don't deserve in Amazonia. Take a look at this coming from Mezam today.
Yes, this one of the special force for Mezam. Today na 7th of February 2023. 2 military they now don't stand for there. So they will die. Yes, it's one of the special force for Mezam. Today na 7th of February 2023. The two military then now stand for them. So they will die.
Okay. Let's take that one more time.
7th of February 2023. The two military then now stand for them. So they will die.
All right. Look at that one more time, ladies and gentlemen. Again, that is happening in Mezam. In Mezam, I'm not disclosing the location, but look at that Okada. Look at the army standing there. Watch. Look at that. Okay. Okay. Again, that is happening in Mezam. Again, the location, I'm not disclosing it, but that is the ingenuity that is coming from Ambazonia restoration fighters. We saw what No PT did in Ngohketunjia the other day, demonstrating courage and bravery, going after the invading French Cameroon forces who came to attack his fighters and killed 3 of them. He wasn't afraid. He didn't run away to hide just in case he falls victim. No, he took up courage while Saigon was hiding somewhere, pretending he is blocking them from entering Ngohketunjia. He didn't show up for any backup to assist those boys. No PT came from nowhere, defended his boys, killed 2 French Cameroon soldiers. Lucifer came up from Kumba. And what is the other guy, the spokesperson? They came up and they have pronounced a total, complete lockdown of Ambazonia in the days ahead. In the days ahead, that is Friday and Saturday. And we are warning every school principal and every school proprietor in Ambazonia. You do not want your school to be indefinitely shut down. We will do not attempt to allow your students to set foot on any ceremony ground, so-called 11 February. Business people, shut down your businesses. It is only for 2 days. You won't die for shutting down on Friday and on Saturday. Sunday you can go out, do your regular business. But Friday and Saturday, please withdraw your children from any school. Let them stay home. And please shut down your businesses. This is a do or die issue. And we will do everything that we can before maybe we fail. But it will be a battle everywhere. We are poised. We are resolved. I give you 1 more minute before I move to the next subject here about these resignations, comrade. Before I move to that, Comrade Jackson, let me start with you. You are the security chief here. We are talking about these 11 February celebrations that we have banned 4 years ago. We didn't only ban 11 February, we banned 20th May. We've also banned their mountain race and banned their elections. But a lot of public do Cameroon, you know, each time they want the world to believe that the war is over, it's getting over. And when events like this come up, they try to scramble around to make sure something takes place. Yes, something may take place, but I can assure them that the overwhelming majority of Amber landers on ground zero will stay home. Tell me if I'm wrong, Chairman Jackson.
No, Secretary Chris, you are not wrong. The truth is that Southern Cameroonians have vomited the regime, but because it's a regime that has no rules, they have no laws, they don't even respect their own useless rules that they have. Because you explained to me, how is it that no elections took place in the southern Cameroons, but they have people parading the corridors of Yaoundé as parliamentarians. How possible is that? How can a government fool its own self or fool herself? They have this suspended disbelief that elections are taking place management of that country. How is it on earth that you will, up to today, you can't explain to young people 11th of February, how is that a youth day? I mean, even when it has been exposed and exposed very well, they are still running around with that fallacy how 11 February is a youth day. Just because they have conditioned themselves, because they keep repeating this thing, then they think that is true. You know, they have said these things are not going to be happening in our area. But you know what happens? It doesn't even make any difference to them because in their mind, they know that they already have it. Whatever happens, because like the senatorial elections, they will come and stay in a Yaba hotel and then they go back to Yaoundé, elections took place. So it's just going to be the same thing. And it's so unfortunate when I watch the video you're showing over there. These poor military people, look at the bike rider. You could have been a collateral damage in that thing. We have said they should sit down and talk this thing out and have a negotiated settlement. But it seems like nobody is in charge in that country. That's why the gang of individuals that are running that country, they don't care because they know that the ball stops with the president, and we know that the president cannot make any meaningful decision at this time. So that's why they have to callously continue to exhibit what they're doing now. And the military, I just feel so bad because that needs to end. These are people that are being killed. That military guy has a wife, has children, has a family, or has a life that he needs to live, you know? But then they don't care. They don't care. Our people are being killed too. The staff, nothing. So you are perfectly right, Chris, Secretary Chris, Comrade Chris. This gotta stop. It gets to a point where something needs to be done, and I think this is the moment.
All right, Mama Gio, please take 1 minute and let's move on to this resignations subject.
Okay, thank you. Yes, the Republic should be aware by now that we are a force to reckon with. When they started attacking our people had nothing, not even rubber gun. Our people had only peace plans. Then we moved from there to sticks, and our boys started manufacturing an old skill that they were not using again. They recreated, and then we've moved up gradually. When we did not have anything, when we ran on the streets with bare hands, La Republic said it would take 2 weeks for them to get us. They have not gotten us. What do they think they will do? Because as the day goes by, our boys are getting sharper. They are coming up with things. They have brains. They are thinking. The young ones are coming up with things. Those who are educated, those who are creative, I should say, it's more creativity now. It's not the education. It's more creativity. They are creative. They are creating all these things, and so with all this advanced knowledge, what does La Republic think that they will gain? How do they think they are going to win? I just don't know the sense in what they are doing. They keep saying that they want to sit and talk with us. When we say yes, they run back. Every time they say something, we say yes, they run back. And that is just being stupid because our boys, as you can see from that video, our boys have become so bold, so innovative that they have something that they can be passing next to you and just bring you down. It's no longer AK. It's no longer whatever that they say. But look at what the boys are doing. They just pass by you. It's like we've become the Russian spies, where they said the Russians, they will just touch you. They will just touch you with the umbrella and you collapse. They shoot you with the umbrella. You think they just have an umbrella, but it's a gun. You won't know. So we are advancing to that stage, and now they should be aware that as they are trying to bring more advanced technology, our boys are also being creative. And so this example, this thing that these maids and boys have done, have shown them now that they should be aware. They should be aware that there's no hiding place for them. The fault is that they continue to come to our region. They continue to come after us. We are trying to block them from coming. We've promised them. We've gone over on their side a few times, but we've promised them that we can go there and show them that we can be a force to reckon with. But for now, we are telling them, leave us alone. Leave us alone, because we want them to understand, because we think these people are somehow senile, stupid, or crazy. When they don't understand, somebody says, you are coming to my house. I don't want you. This is my territory. This is my home. Stay on your side. I will stay on my side. So this is the result. And this is just a new technology that has come, and more are on the way. We will see. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Mama Jiu. Ladies and gentlemen, when I come back in a short second, I will bring you the statement regarding the resignations from my cabinet here at the interim government. Don't touch your remote. I'll be right back. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thanks for staying put. At this moment, I take you into my talking points on the recent resignations of some members of my cabinet here at the interim government. I'm sure you have listened to a lot, read a lot, and especially what the enablers and the partisans are putting out there. Fellow ambassadors, when I came on board the leadership of this independence crusade, I promised that unity and collaboration will be one of my priority missions. I have made some rounds. Ladies and gentlemen, I think I have the wrong statement here. Let us adjust that a little bit. This is about the special announcement. And so let me take you to that first before I bring you the resignation statement. So I will take you there. Let me see. Okay, I was right on point, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go back there again, dealing with the resignations here at the interim government, resignations which you must have read about or listened to some social media propaganda and fabrications. We here remain strong and unperturbed, fellow Ambazonians. Again, when I came on board the leadership of this independence crusade, I promise you that unity and collaboration will be one of my priority missions. I have made some rounds the past months talking to leaders that matter, set up committees to pursue unity and collaboration. We have and continue to preach the urgency of coming together to chart a better way forward for the fight. Now, this is the announcement first, ladies and gentlemen. About 2 months ago, I came to you announcing the necessity for an all-Amba summit, AAS. When I made the suggestion, we were still brainstorming the way forward. I am glad to announce to you today that the interim government is convening an all-Amba summit, AAS, in Washington, D.C., possibly in the month of May. Though this announcement is coming from the interim government, we are careful to make sure all major Amba groups and stakeholders on it, not the IG, come together and do the initial planning too. The agenda will not be solely that of the interim government. It will be an Ambazonia agenda put together by Ambazonian leaders, stakeholders from different groups, big and small. No Ambazonian group that wants to participate will be left behind. Consultations are currently ongoing for planning. This is not a Zoom conference or Zoom summit. It is a physical meeting. All Ambazonians across the globe will be welcome to participate in the plenary session to contribute to the way forward. We shall be having a handful of international speakers who shall be there to guide us on the way forward, especially when it relates to unity, collaboration, and negotiations. The event is taking place on, we believe, when other leaders have been consulted and agreed, Memorial Weekend, a vacation weekend in all of America, and we are hoping that all Ambazonians, especially in the continental USA, will seize on the opportunity to head to Washington, D.C. The event will end with a major rally in Washington, D.C. You come with your Amba regalia, including your flags, banners, mufflers, and stickers. Plan to carpool from the north to the south, from the west to the east. Please make your plans now. The theme of this summit, I'm hoping, will be restarting again for a stronger Ambazonia front. We hope to arise from there, or from the summit, with renewed strength and vigor to prosecute the war. And now to the resignations. Onto this subject of resignations from my cabinet, to which a bunch of partisans would love to celebrate and salivate over and make a big deal over it on virtual space. Television is a wrong place for me to discuss policies within the interim government I lead. Do not expect me to watch dirty lenience in the public square. But I would like to make this one observation. Comrades, resignations are to be expected in any and every establishment. They are norms that come with service. They have existed since the inception of democracy. Resignations are a measure of one's values system. It is also a test of one's capability to deliver or not to deliver. Resignations are also a test to one's integrity and democratic values. Resignations are virtues very much applauded and not apprehended in democratic societies. In recent times, for example, we have seen 2 prime ministers resign in the UK, one of them within 2 weeks in office, after finding out she just could not deliver. The other day here in the White House Chief of Staff resigned. Of course, some of you have not even heard about it, because no qualms needed to be raised about it, not even by the opposition GOP party. Comrades, listen to me. It appears to me like it is only in our Amazonian community that some of us, in spite of our long sojourn in Europe and America, see resignations as indictments. They are not. So instead of applauding these actions, you are thinking they finally got a payback. A payback for what? The 2 cabinet members tendered their resignations. I accepted it and wrote to them to thank them for their service. When you walk in a place and suddenly realize that you no longer can be a team player and can no longer deliver, the honorable thing for you to do is to do what these 2 comrades have done. Resign. Resign. If tomorrow I find out that, for some reasons, I'm no longer capable of doing the job I was choosing to do here, I will resign and call on the Restoration Council to tell them to do a new search for a new leader. That's a thing of honor. It's the right attitude. We have a fragmented interim government today because leaders refuse to learn this virtue of resigning when the bell comes ringing. In confinement, some have refused to relinquish control. Then the next one told all of us he was meant to stay on Tiboya. The other one said she doesn't need to stand any elections. Power and sit still has become an entitlement to them. And so we have this organization in the fractions that they are today, because these people and those who follow them and surrogate for them think that resignations are a bad thing. No, they are not. These pseudo leaders preach a new Amazonia, a new country, an Amazonia in which democracy will triumph, will be the order of the day. But they sit just as tight as Paul Biya sits in Yaoundé. If without a country yet, leaders cannot humble themselves to leave when the people want them to leave, or when they are removed or voted out or asked to leave, you think that you get them to leave? You think that you get them to Boya, they will ever leave? after they start touching money? Of course not. Turn and look around you. Doesn't it concern you that the same names, the same old faces that we have seen all over the years are the same leaders we still have today? Ladies and gentlemen, resignations are a virtue and not indictments. The earlier we start learning and practicing it, the better. Else, the moment we arrive, Boya, the transitional government leader could become an eternal leader, even in the midst of mediocrity and inability to perform. Once more, I appreciate the service of the comrades who bowed out of cabinet the other day. It is not easy to serve in this independence crusade with your face out there, knowing that your own very family left at home could be the scapegoat because of you. Disgustingly enough, those who sit in social media and take surrogacy for a career are not even brave and courageous enough to show their faces. I consider them cowards of the first order, whose garbage shouldn't deserve a smidgen of a second of your time in the social media. Delete them. Fellow Ambazonians, when I took over the leadership of this interim government, I promised to do things differently. I promise you that the era of mismanagement, embezzlement, cronyism, and fraud was over. If you do not have to touch money, it should not have to go through your hands. Requisitions in both cases have to be paid directly, and I mean directly to those on whose behalf they are written. The era where we had funds passing through middlemen or women, where people cut corners before getting what is sent to ground zero to the people, is gone. And if you find yourself in a group environment and cannot present yourself as a team player, you become a liability. If you think you are your own master and is not accountable to anybody, you can write and ask for funds without any consultations with anybody. This is no longer that type of government. This is a new government. Tomorrow, if I am convinced that I can no longer perform, I will resign. But the way I approach it is very important. One thing I have learned is that it is much easier to sit here on television or on the social media and tell how much you care for Ambazonia. How you did be the last man standing, if need be. But please, just don't listen to that rhetoric. Pay attention to the spirit with which they live. Often it is a mentality: kill the whole thing or drag everybody into the mud before you leave. And so they scramble around for disjointed, uncorroborated narratives to put together, just in the hope that someone is framed up and they all go down together. It's not happening here, not at this interim government. Accountability is a watchword in this interim government, and I will not be dragged into the mud as far as that is concerned. And above all, we cannot go back to doing things same old on accountability way. We are bent on making sure that ground zero is our priority and is supported with what we receive as funds. But we will not be Father Christmas to everyone just because some money has come in. We have learned a lot of lessons from the past, and at this moment in the crusade for our independence, we will not be in the habit of just churning out money to unauthorized, undefined missions just because the money is there. No, we are very strong and united here in this government. People will come and go. And when they go, they will be replaced. And the struggle continues. And that is it, ladies and gentlemen, for my talking point. I do not know whether my guest is still in here or they are gone. I think they are still here. I will give you guys a minute each. There is nothing to say, nothing much to say about this, but if you have something to say, Mama G, let me start with you. Or Chairman Jackson, let me start with you, please.
Okay. You said it all. First of all, let me appreciate the work um, uh, Reverend Asson has done and Moladin. She was one of that fire lady. But again, this revolution that we're going through is very tedious on people. So I understand that it comes a point where people have to have so much pressure on them. So we are you're moving forward with your government, and I appreciate you for thanking them for their service. And we are not going to be talking so much on this, especially when we have a mountain in front of us. So let us just pick ourselves up and continue the journey to Boya.
All right, Mama G, please. Mama G, hold on there. I think you are muted. Go on, please.
Oh, okay, can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, what I say about resignation is that when you get to the point where your plans do not work with the plans with those you work with, um, it is okay for you to say, I cannot do this, and I leave. But it's not a big problem. It is not something that somebody should be blamed for or somebody should apologize for. It is just saying that this is not what I want. And that should be okay. And that's something that we all walk away from. I used to be the chair of Santa and the chair of Mizam, and it got to the point where I felt like my people did not appreciate what I was doing, and I left. But I never left the revolution, and immediately I left. The people who knew my ability picked me immediately and said I should manage the ABC. I should be the chair board. And so I continued because I am not in the revolution for me or to have a position. I am in the revolution because I want us to reach Boya. And so if I'm going to use my strength where I can work with the people where I think it's appreciated or where we have the same ideal. So you may have your own way that you want, or I am the Secretary of State for Home Affairs. I may have the way that I want to do, but I'm not the president. If the president says this is not how I want it in a different way. If I can adapt, I will adapt. If I cannot adapt because I feel my own way, the way that I think I want to do it is superior, or that's what I will be able to do, then I will step down. But it doesn't mean I have a problem with you, or you have a problem with me, or there's a problem with the government. It's just that people have difference of opinion. And for the love of Ambazonia, somebody steps aside and says, okay, you move with the way you want it, and let's get to Boya. If there's anything I can do to help, if I cannot help, I'll stand by the side and watch the way things are done. So when people make a big deal out of it and say, oh, it's just this, oh, we should come and apologize, oh, this person, I don't see it as such because I mean, there's nobody who is nailed to do a particular thing. And if that person cannot do it, we insist on you doing it, and it is done wrong, it is taking us back, is holding us back from reaching our goal. So that's how I see it. I don't see any problem. People don't agree. People get married, it doesn't work, they divorce. That's why we are asking La Republique. If you say we will join with you, we are telling you that we did not like what you did. We are ready to divorce. And it should not be a problem. So I don't see anything. It's not something that the whole world, the social media should be buzzing about as if this resignation
Mama G,
has
you know,
anything.
one of the problems that we have in this crusade for our independence with many of the leadership out there is that once you become or find yourself in a place of leadership, they consider their groups to be opposition political parties. They don't see themselves as collaborators in the struggle. We'll talk about uh, 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 what purpose. I mean, is it purpose of interest or interest, something like that? We talk about that, but it is shameful that many people think that their effort alone can win us Ambazonia. And so when things like this, when people check out as these two comrades, they check out, you see the celebration as if they have taken over La Republique to Cameroon, whereas they should be really saying, well, these are true Democrats, these are true Ambazonians. They feel they cannot deliver and they have made way for those who can deliver. It's a normal thing. Why is it that our people live in the West where they live in democracies and they're so negative when they see things like this? The world is not coming to an end.
Section, Comrade Chris, remember where we come from. When I was young, we had Ahijo. I got older, we have Paul Biya. We have not had changes. We are not used to change. We do not accept that. We think that when we are put in a position, it is ours, it's an ownership. It is not ownership. It is serving your people at your ability level. And you get to that point where you cannot, or you are not working smoothly with the others, it's time to leave. And you're talking of other groups. I just came off a group where I was saying that we cannot sit here and say, well, somebody has called a summit and another one is working on a summit. Okay, there are 3 groups of people, 4 groups of people, and they want to come together, but everybody is working on their own plan. I don't think there's any problem for me to bring my plan to come to you and say, we had talked about this and we had talked about conference. Let us all work together because I have a plan. I've put my own things together. I'm thinking that we should have it on this day. And then you bring your own and you say, and all of us come together. We pick a date. We work together. But it is the problem we have is that everybody wants to score. Everybody wants to say, I am the first person.
Yeah, that is the
I am the
element
biggest
of
person.
partisanship that I am talking about. But my
Yes.
Gertrude, leave it there. Let me open the phone lines and let's hear from our people, from our audience, from ground 0, ground 1, from all over the globe. And let me place one. If you want me to take your call, make sure that your the volume of your television set is shut down. Make sure that the volume of your set is shut down before you place your call, because when I get an echo in your background, I can hear you and you probably can hear me too. The phone number is right there on the screen, so please, again, before you call, shut down your television set. Or if you have your television set, the moment I pick your call, shut down the volume of your TV set. If you are watching by TV or by computer, make sure you shut down the volume if you want me to get your call. So the line is open. So now Gertrude, we were talking about this partisanship. We live for so long in the diaspora, and we learn nothing from the systems that we find in the diaspora. Only a few days ago, the chief White House, let me get this caller here first, please. Hello. 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 Okay, that's a bad connection there. Let's get to the next caller here. What is going on? All right, you can go back on and call, gentlemen. You can go back and call. So I was saying exactly that we live in the diaspora. We live in the diaspora in civilized societies where democracy is practiced, where people resign from their duties for the interests of the nation and the administration. And yet, it is so strange that when you come to us, we act as if we're living in the moon and know nothing about the virtues in resignations. Come on, ladies and gentlemen. Again, in this struggle, people will come and go. We can't even count today how many people have fallen by the wayside from the day we started. Very few people are still standing. All right, let me get to this caller here. I hope it goes through. Hello. Hello.
Hello.
Hello, so turn down the volume of your set, please. Turn down the volume of your set and focus on the phone.
Hello.
All right, go on. So where are you calling from?
Ground Zero.
Ground Zero, okay. Where precisely? What county?
Meme County.
All right, wonderful. What is going on in Meme, sir?
Okay. We want just for talks. We like the way we do. We like the way you don't talk. You don't present that situation for resignation. We like the way. And one for talks for Kumba. For Kumba, any man with fees one go match. This do one a commander one class. Any man with fees one go match for Kumba, make it try go get away for roads. We will meet up them face to face. So
Commander one class.
Yes.
If you get two, what will happen?
So wait.
If you get two callers, what will happen?
Yes, Commander one callers. We get even a 5, we get 50. But the one
now, yeah, I say you will Commander one callers. If you get two callers, what will happen?
They go bad. You go fly and fly for air. You will see. You will see something go bad.
All right.
Okay.
All right. So I hope, Commander one callers. I hope say una they take care of Kumba between Friday and Saturday, between today and Saturday.
Forget any picking way fees go match. Any cast, particularly cast Kumba picking the way the fees go match. We will show them paper.
All right. How about City Kumba?
That was on a sad case. Forget. There are two neighbors.
Now, I hear say some schools for Kumba they don't shut down already. Is that true?
Yes, not true. They don't shut down because we don't tell them say now we get the land and they go for shut them down and they don't respect them.
Wonderful. All right. Thank you very much. Please, wanna keep it up, and we look forward to hearing what we will do for Kumba and Meme as a whole with General Lucifer and the rest.
Yes, this is Commander One Colas.
All right. Thank you. Thank you for the call. All right. Chairman Jackson, what? Oh, he's not on set here. Mama G, what do you make of that name, Commander One Colas? That's the first time me hearing that that name, that title, Commander One Colas.
Oh, it is so funny. It's really interesting. Well, I mean, their names are an extension of them. What they see themselves as being or their ability. And so they portray it by the names that they select for themselves. And it's really interesting. And he says, if I have one, more than one, it go bad. I like that kind of courage. I like that kind of a self assurance. That's good. That's what. That's why our boys with nothing, beginning with nothing, are able to stand till today. Thank you, Commander Codlas.
All right. The phone line is open, ladies and gentlemen. Waiting to get your call. The phone line is open. Go ahead. Let us know what is in your mind. Again, before you call, make sure that the volume of your set is turned down and you focus on the phone. So go ahead. The phone line is open. Let me see. It appears that I have some messages here too coming from listeners. All right, ladies and gentlemen, again, the phone line is open. My president, what you just said about Kumba is correct, but we will deal with students of Caste Kumba. Should any student's face be seen on camera? Okay, that is somebody writing there from Kumba. Somebody writes from Ground Zero, may you function beyond your normal capacity. I hope you are prophesying. Thank you. That is a compliment. All right. So the phone line is open, ladies and gentlemen. Go ahead and call and let us know what is in your mind. If you are on the social media, send us a message on the number you see on the screen. Let us know what you are thinking about. In the meantime, where is Jackson? Jackson is not on seat. Is not on seat. But let's get to this other caller here. Hello. Hello.
Yeah, come on, Chris. Yeah, come on, Chris. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir. This is Dr. Ngwombe.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
You can cover your voice.
I know, right? I know. So, first, let me greet your panelists, Maji, Achoe, Salodo, Mama, and my brother Chairman Jackson, and my fellow Amazonians. Comrade Chris, I really want to thank you and even Reverend Jeannie from yesterday, because you all hit the very right tone with regard to this resignation. You know, sometimes people get into these positions and they don't even know how to find themselves out, because when they find themselves out, maybe people will start to say that they're black-leg, that La Republique has given them Swiss cheese or Canadian maple syrup to eat or some funny thing like that. So they don't know how to leave with dignity. So one of the things I'm proposing is that when anyone wants to resign, let us throw a resignation ceremony for them on TV, where we thank them so that they feel comfortable and they don't have to go out and make sabotaging statements or behave as if we are enemies. Look, someone like Moladin, those in the opposite camp, especially the Sako camp, who are trying to capitalize on this. Moladin has said he still supports this IG and he is still a supporter of Comrade Chris.
Yeah, and that should be the attitude. Again, I like Ambazonians to know those resignations actually did not come to me directly. I saw them when they had made the rounds. I mean, after they had made the rounds in the social media. If they had come to me directly before anybody else got them, I would have reached out to them and said, hey, let's talk about it. But I saw it almost 12 hours after he was already out, better send them notes and say, hey, thanks for your service anyway, and good luck. That's what it should be.
Yes. So let me join you, Comrade Chris, in thanking Reverend Ma Asong and my brother Dean for the service. You all have done a good job to the best of your ability for Amazonia. This thing no easy. Circumstances change in our life. It is stressful. I know you all are still part of this struggle. You all believe in the liberation of the lovely and great people of Amazonia, and we all look forward to working with you in different capacities down the road. God bless you guys.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for the call. I appreciate that. Let me get to the next caller here. Okay. Let me see. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I missed some calls there. Let me see. I can get this one. Hello, sir.
Hello, Comrade Chris.
Yes, sir. This is Dr. Ngohketunjia, correct?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Go on, sir.
Yes, I want to first of all thank the gentleman and lady over there. You, the two gentlemen, and the lady.
And I happen to be the most handsome among them, isn't it?
Yeah, well, we'll leave that for another day. I will tell you this time. You're doing
You don't want to say it on
job.
TV?
Yes, you are handsome. You are a very handsome, gorgeous guy, and you are gorgeously dressed.
Thank you.
So like
All right, go on.
So I want to appreciate the panelists and also to give a special thank you to the Reverend Asong and Moladi. These are people that we have worked with, and we know that they are capable of doing a lot of things to this revolution. And if they have decided to take a back seat in terms of positions in the government and to react and to work in helping our struggle to move forward, that is a great move. None of them has made a statement that he or she is leaving the revolution or leaving the IG. They are all part of us, and we are happy to work with them, and we look forward to working with them all the time. So for some individuals, some little minds to sit somewhere in their closets and they are making noise about them leaving the IG, that is not true, and that is not what they have said, and that is not even their intention. They have never dreamt about that. So I really appreciate. And on the topics that you discuss here about what is happening in Ngohketunjia, it is really important. It's paramount that we send this message to those who are perpetrating havoc in Ngohketunjia. You cannot block a road. Our own people do not need to be subjected to punishment for a freedom program or cause that they all cherish. So if we keep on alienating them, then who do you think we can rely on for this revolution to move forward? So we are begging on these comrades to understand that those who are suffering are our own people. La Republic sends people to come in, and they come do whatever they're doing and go back to La Republic. Well, our own people who are residents should be given preferential treatment, should be taken care of, protected from La Republic. So I really enjoyed the program. I'm so delighted to have been here, and I like the way you presented this issue of Resignations, because news is going everywhere that there's Comrade Chris is depressed, the IG is depressed. No, we are not depressed. We are happy. We are working with our brothers and sisters, and everything is going to move forward for the revolution. Firepower forward and never backward. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, sir. Thank you. I appreciate that. All right. I guess they should know by now, I am not a man to be depressed. I am a man who confront issues, problems, never, ever running away from it. If I were to run away from it, I would have been out of here like some have done the moment they are accused to be blacklegs or La Republic enablers, right? Sako went around saying, Chris, I know I've been bought over, this and that. And of course, I think they said time does what time. Let me get to this caller here. Hello.
Hello, Comrade Chris.
Hello, sir. Where are you calling from, sir?
I'm calling from the enemy's territory. I'm calling from Douala, Cameroon, La République du Cameroon.
All right. Wonderful. What is in your mind, sir?
Well, I just want to express my thanks to you and the team out there that you are doing quite a wonderful, great job there. And I want to give you a pat on the back that in spite of the shortcomings, we are still waxing strong. When I look at the smiles on your face, I know we are strong and we will remain stronger. It's a pity that people like those who are resigning are going. But I remember I had one phone chat with them, and they assured us, "Oh no, we have to be strong. We have to be strong." But I'm surprised they are chickening out. I don't know the reason.
I don't want to say. I don't want to say use the word chickening out, because I just stated that, hey, it is normal if you are in a working environment and you realize you can no longer deliver. It should be a normal thing to resign and walk away. Not a matter of chickening out. There's a difference between resigning for good reasons and chickening out maybe because of fear or intimidation.
Exactly. You're right. Yeah. So yeah, coming back to yeah.
I can hear you. Go on.
Yes, Chris. Yeah, coming back to the issue in Ngohketunjia, in fact, that is actually my county where I come from. It is so sad that for us to be able to go to our villages to Ngohketunjia, you have to pass through Bafusam, you pass through Fumban, and then
you have to pass through Bafusam?
Yes, go through Fumban. Then from Fumban you can now go through Bangoren, Bangolan, through Babesi, Baba, and then you get to Ndop. So it is not an easy way to travel. And the unfortunate thing is that the military keep passing through Sabga down to Ndop. That is why we say, I don't know the function General Sagon is actually doing down there.
Yeah, that is just so painful to hear that people have to navigate all those tracks just to get to Bamenda. A journey from Ndop to Bamenda is about an hour or 1 hour 40 minutes for the bad roads, isn't it?
It's an hour journey.
So if you follow that route that you are mentioning here, how long does it take to get to Bamenda?
You might spend the nearest 7, 8, 9, 10 hours.
Well, let us hope that those of you from that community will rally your people to resist those boys and if possible arrest them if they do not open up that road. We are asking them to open up that road because they're not going to find protection from anywhere, from anybody, if they do not open up those roads. The communities will turn against them and they will have nowhere to hide.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah, Comrade Chris, coming back to the issue of the other day, last Sunday.
What is that?
The confrontation between the military and the Amber Boys in Baba 1. It was actually in Baba 1.
Yes,
I want to appreciate the fighting spirit of our guys on the field, because backup actually came from all over, from Oku, from the Marine Forces, from Kumbo, which was quite a great thing. And the guy had a good time because it was great, because their vehicles were destroyed and they had to escape.
Right.
So it was quite a good thing. So we encourage that spirit amongst our guys over there.
Can you imagine that backup came from all those different communities and actually killed some Republic of Cameroon army, and Saigon is hiding somewhere in Sabga?
Of course.
And won't do a thing on those invaders.
Tell you, whether he's really for the cause? That is a question we keep asking ourselves.
All right. Thank you for the call.
You can't. Okay, thank you so much, Chris. Thank you so much.
All right. Okay, let us see. Let us see. Comrade Chris, thank you for the clarification about the resignations. All right, I hear you, sir. Thank you. The phone line is open, ladies and gentlemen. Go ahead and call. I see many of you are missing. I'm missing the lines, but go ahead. Go ahead. The phone line is open. Go ahead and call, please. Go ahead and call. All right. Okay, let us see who is calling from ground zero. Hello. Hello.
Hello.
Hello, sir. Where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Boya, precisely from mile 16.
No,
Yeah.
sir, you are calling from Bamenda. I know you very well. I just forgotten. I don't want to call your name anyway. But go on, sir. What's your contribution? You're calling from Quen.
No.
All right, go ahead. Go ahead. What is your contribution?
Oh, that's their program is so much interesting, and I think really the fight against the 11th February is that which we much cherish. So we all love it.
Okay.
So and we are sure to keep it.
All right. I hope that you guys in Boya will stand up, shut your businesses, and stay home Friday and Saturday. Shut down the schools.
No.
Shut down the schools.
That's very.
Let the children stay home. Now we are having Ambazonians standing up from all over the place, different cities, not necessarily the AROF. Civilians are standing up and taking the enemy on their own. We want that to begin to happen everywhere in Amazonia. Now the public have been going around telling the international community that the war is over. I guess they keep. I just hope they keep on doing so. Let's see. They think the moment they think that we are dead, we resurrect. The moment they think we are dead, we resurrect. That is why wars last for 20 or 15 or 30 years. We are not going anywhere until we have taken back what belongs to us. Go on, sir.
We love your effort. We love your efforts.
All right. All right. Thank you, sir. You guys stay safe out there.
Okay. Thank you.
All right. Okay. All right. Chairman Jackson, I believe you are back on the seat. We will call it. Are you frozen out there, or you are still alive? Actually, I think you are frozen out there. Mama G, let me give you the last word, please.
Okay, I want to thank everybody who has tuned in today to listen to us. I want you to know that we are still fighting. We are doing everything that we can to make us get to Boya. I want to beg the boys in Ngohketunjia that they should have pity on our people. Our people are suffering, and anybody who has influence on those boys should encourage them to stop harassing the citizens of Ambazonia and make sure their forces and their energies are geared towards La Republic. That's who we want to bring down, not us. And this government continues to serve, continues to work hard. And so those who are going to join us, please let us work to Boya. Let's succeed. If you have any ideas, don't hesitate to bring. But we are doing everything in our power to make sure we get to Boya. Thank you.
Thank you, Mama G. Thank you, and thank you for being part of the show tonight. Thank you, Chairman Jackson. You are frozen out there. Let me get back. You are free to leave the set. Let me get back to a few callers here. Hello. Hello. Yes, I can hear you. I can turn down the volume of your TV, sir, and focus on the phone.
Okay. Am I right?
You are right. Where are you calling from?
Am I okay? Am I okay now?
You are okay now. Where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Tuba.
From Tuba. Okay. All right. What is in your mind, sir? Yes, go on. Go on. I can hear you. Go on.
Country.
Go on. Go on.
Yeah. Okay, please. I'm very happy.
Well, I'm sorry. Your network.
With your honest, the problem, which is it's just the problem of these boys who have bent the vehicle.
Well, I'm sorry. The network is not good, sir. You are disconnecting. All right. Let's get to the next caller here. Hello.
Hello. Good evening, sir, Chris.
Good evening, sir. Where are you calling from?
Yeah, I'm calling from Mezam County.
Mezam County. Okay, Abakwa Town. What is in your mind?
Yes. I just want to thank you and the panelists for your great job. And I want to meet issue. So I saw a flyer on Facebook talking about a summit on April. Then you are talking about me. So I don't know, is it the same summit or is it a different one?
There are different summits.
There are different summits.
Yes.
But Sir Chris, we have been following all of your channels at Diaspora. We have been watching ACOC, ABS, and we are still seeing some little problems that are not supposed to be seen again on TV, because when you watch ACOC, when Kabutane come live, it talks only about a decrease from A to Z. So we are asking ourselves, what far have they gone with the collaboration stuff? So because if things are normal, the way we are seeing it, one party should not be sabotaging the other the way some are doing. The issue of Kabutane.
Yeah, I get you right, but listen, I'm not stupid or childish to come and I don't like stuff to do to come and sit here calling names and from calling names for 2 hours or for 1 hour. People who go and sit on TV and call names, they're not fighting for Amazonia. Do they really think anybody takes them seriously? Do they really think so? I don't have to come. If I come and sit here calling names, it means I have nothing to offer. I have nothing to do. And I believe nobody takes me seriously. So that is why we come here to talk about the issues and not individuals. I think I lost that color there. All right, let's get to the next person here. Hello. Hello. You are muted, sir. You are muted on your side. Okay, that caller was muted. You want to call back? That is okay. All right. Okay, you want to call back? Go ahead and call back, but make sure you are unmuted. All right, let me see. I think the caller is back. Hello.
Yeah, Chris.
Yeah, I lost you. Go on, sir.
Yes. Yes, okay. I just want to make a point here. You know, if you are discussing with a leader like Cho Ayaba, and there's a worker under Cho Ayaba like Abu Daniel, I think you should talk to the leader to address him, because it is not painting a good image to the struggle. When they are talking about collaboration, it should be collaboration.
Hold on there, comrade. I agree with you. It does not paint a good image to the struggle, but I don't think it's about the struggle. It's their own image. Their own image. Because I develop an image if every time I have to come and sit here and call this name and call that name and call that name, I look stupid. If they don't look stupid to themselves, I don't know what is in your mind. All right, go on.
Okay, sir. I just wanted to find out if people are talking about a summit and we have some other flyers out there giving a different date from your own date to show us that collaboration is really coming into place. Why can you not sit and agree to put it one date to have the summit that will see all of you together and to see how the way forward is going to look like?
Yeah, I think you all know I come here almost from day number one talking about unity and collaboration. I have consulted with almost all the leaders out there, and we have talked about a future summit like the one that we are organizing. But one thing we have seen in this struggle again is that people take it, some other leaders take it for politics. They see it like opposition politics, whereas it is a crusade, it is a fight, it is war for an independent country. It is not a coup d'etat about who gets to Boya first, because no one person will get to Boya first. Only a transitional government will get to Boya. Ayabacho will not. Chris Anu will not. Bo Herbert will not. Nobody will. So I believe if they are all thinking this way, they will see the need to collaborate. Now, when someone is preaching collaboration and calling them and talking to them, and suddenly somebody announces a conference, it doesn't even care to call you and consult with you. And you guys know this is not the first time I'm talking about All Amber Summit, and they go out and do this. What do you want me to do? Unity will not be false, right? But whatever the case, I will be ready to attend their conference. But we are going ahead with other leaders with the All Amber Summit in Washington D.C. The good thing is that one is happening in April and in Canada, and in Canada. We will all go there if we're invited. If we are not, we stay here. But this is my point. This is the point I keep making. Any gathering, ladies and gentlemen, listen to me very, very attentively. Any gathering that discusses the future of Amazonia that is not put together by all the major groups in this struggle is dead on arrival. That time when individual groups think that they can take us to Boya is dead and gone. The summit we are calling for Washington D.C., the agenda is not the interim government agenda. We are just initiators. But that is not what you have heard about the meeting in Canada, because if the meeting in Canada would be called by all Amazonian groups, that will be the announcement. That is not the case. All right.
Okay, so thank you, sir, because you have made it clear for me to understand that the summit at Canada, you will attend it, and I support that you should attend it, because going there is like you are giving a hand of peace to make them to see that what you are preaching is what you are going to put into practice. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you for the call. All right, God bless. Okay, I think that should be the last call for today, ladies and gentlemen. Again, for ground zero, lockdown begins on Friday. Please, I am begging you, do not put yourself or your children in danger. Stay home on Friday. Stay home on Saturday. Make sure your children are off school campuses beginning, if they are not yet out, make sure they are out tomorrow to Monday. Lockdown is only for Friday and Saturday. Sunday you go about your normal businesses. Monday is regular ghost towns. And Kumba, take note, those Okada riders in Kumba, take note, it will not be business as usual. All right, thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. It was great being with you today. I look forward to coming back sometime, maybe on Friday, if not next week. Good night and God bless.